out this week. I'm excited about the projects that I listened to this week, and some of them are just really, really blown away. Like I promised last week, I was talking about the songs that I've listened to, the projects that I've listened to, and as I last week, I hadn't listened to the Pheelz album. He just, for you who do not know, Pheelz is how do I describe him? His First of all, he's one of those people. We talked about Olamide last week. He's one of those folks who have come out from that YBNL, that circle of Olamide, and he known most like everywhere for his producing skills. He's produced a lot of like great songs like Finesse, Electricity, also with Davido, and I mean so many. He's got so many songs. That's even him as an artist, and then so many songs that he's produced for so many artists in the past. I mean, he's done a great job, and he released a project last 2 weeks or so, and I promised last week that I was going to listen to it and just give you my feedback. Now the thing is, for me, they're kind of like two Pheelz here, two personality, not personalities, but I for one like to look at there are two different people here. There's Pheelz the artist and there's Pheelz the producer. I don't want to merge two of them together because I think being a producer and being an artist, two different worlds, two different jobs, and you can be really great at one and not really great at the other, really great at one. Very few are really great at the two, where it's you can bring that together and be like, oh, this is who this person is, right? Very few people are great at both. Great at both of them. I mean, we have folks like Don Jazz, who's an incredible producer, and he's not that of a great artist. Great artist, right? So they're folks like, and I see him like that. That's how I look at him, right? He's a great producer. Pheelz the producer, Pheelz the artist. The Pheelz the producer will go down in Nigerian music industry Hall of Fame, because he's been involved in this industry long enough. He's helped shape the sound of the industry in the past and even now. He's such a great producer. We cannot even take that away. He's the catalog to show for it. He's been involved in producing the A-list artist, right? He's helped put these people on a different level, right? So, I mean, there's that. And there's Pheelz the artist, I look at him as an upcoming artist. Honestly, that is the way to look at him. Now, because he most likely he produces himself, makes it all this a lot easier, right? You can just put out music. He's even he's on the Warner Records, and this deal of being on the Warner Records is because you can come in producing yourself and knowing how to do all of that, right? Because if we're just looking at Pheelz the artist as the artist outside of the production, well, because he produces himself, it's hard to do that, right? But Pheelz the artist, like I mentioned last week, I haven't been a big fan of Pheelz the artist. Now, he's got a couple of hit songs here and there, and we cannot take away from that. He's great on that level, right? And I haven't been the most impressed, right? Just over the years. But let me just speak to this album. Like I promised, I will listen to do a deep dive this week. The album is titled Feels Good 2. The Feels Good 1 I didn't really feel, but you see this Feels Good 2, I mean, it's got about 5 tracks on this one, and like I said, the Pheelz the artist, he is good enough to give you 1 or 2 really good songs. I think he's capable of doing that. He's done that over the years, and that's what I see on this album. The very first track with Niniola is beautiful. I have given this song multiple listens. It is a beautiful track. I actually do like it. Now, I saw a video by Niniola a few weeks ago that I didn't even know this was the song she was dancing to in that video. I wasn't really paying attention to the music because I haven't seen Niniola in a long time. I was like, woo, like looking good still, dropping it there. And because she's a great dancer as well, you can't take that away from her. So I was looking at it. I wasn't really paying attention to, you can't blame me. I wasn't really paying attention to the song. But now I listened to this. I was like, oh, that was what I was listening to. That was what she was dancing to in that video. The song is beautiful. Track number 2, Majo, man, also a really good one. Now, this song I have heard before the release of the album, but it just felt different in this album for sure. And this is one of those songs that it's evident that he's producing himself and he can just play around with his voice and do a lot of work on the background. Like a lot of work has to be put in the production, to actually give the song that distinct element, to give the song that distinct, that makes it kind of separate from every other thing, right? So Majo, beautiful track. But honestly, out of this 5-track, those are just the 2 men. For me, I couldn't pick any other song outside of these 2, but 2 out of 5, that's what I say. 2 out of 5, right? It's always, he's always just there, just like kind of like below the par for being an artist, but can give you a really good song. And he just keeps dropping this EP like I don't know, what did he call this, an album? Okay, yeah, he called this an EP. So yeah, he keeps dropping this, this short project, and I think it does him well, because releasing like what, 10, 12, 15 track, I don't think he's that kind of artist that can give me a full album like 14 songs that are just, that can keep me and I'll really be impressed, right? He's released several EPs in the past, and that's just where I am. It's not like, oh, he's trash or anything. It's, how I look at, how I view these things here. So this was, it was there, right? But I really did enjoy these 2 songs. Like, I listened to these songs, these 2, Fever featuring Niniola and Majo, list like several times this week. I really like these 2 tracks. But outside of that, man, this it's not an album I will go back to, for sure. It's not an EP I'm going back to for whatever reason. I would just go and I like the 2 songs, right? I would just search for them and just listen to the 2 songs that I like. It's basically how it is for me. He's able to give you really good songs. That is evident at this point. He's been here long enough, a few years now, to be able to analyze and kind of grade him on that level, right? So yeah, he pretty good work on I would say decent with the 2 songs on that. I mean, that's all I kind of have on Pheelz. And then I mean, one of the works he should be proud of also, I mean, Usher, in Usher's recent album, Usher actually featured him as an artist. Now this I remember when I saw that he was featured as an artist, I was like, man, that is what's the word I'm looking for? Like, that's a great fit. That's a great heights to get to. Pheelz is featuring him as an artist, and he also produced the track. I mean, he has to wake up every day being proud of himself and that accomplishment. I mean, being featured with Usher, and then Usher relying on him to also produce the track. So I mean, those are one of the things he can wake up every day and be proud of himself for. But like I said earlier, Pheelz the producer, he's phenomenal. Pheelz the artist is just barely, like below par, just kind of like below average for me. Can give me really good songs. But it is obvious whenever you listen to it that, yeah, a lot of work goes into that production to keep you there. And he, in listening to that Majo song, it's very, very evident there. The production, like, and him sampling, I don't know, I can't remember the song right now, but a Yoruba Fuji artist on that one. I really, really did enjoy this. Like, I really did enjoy those two songs, Fever featuring Nini Ola, Majo on track number 2.